Hi everybody, welcome to week 8 of our English 3020 online course. Man, time is flying and there is a lot to do, a lot for me to talk to you about in this week's video. Our theme for the week is multitasking. Ooh, hopefully that doesn't sound as scary as I made it sound with my creepy woo voice. But today I do want to talk to you about readings that we have going on today. If you saw my announcement from earlier today, you'll know that I've taken one reading off of your plates because it wasn't as relevant as I thought it was going to be. So that's good news. We also have a lot going on for you guys as you continue to tutor. You're going to be taking field notes, maybe for the first time this week, and whipping up a draft of your methods section to turn in at the end of the week. This is just a draft, and we're turning it in as a discussion so that you can get some feedback from your peers about it. It's for the paper that's due at the end of Project 3. So this is, again, just a draft, just to kind of get this piece of the puzzle at least written down in some form. So I'm going to talk about all of that in this week's video. And at the end of the video, I have 2 really exciting announcements for some extra credit opportunities coming your way. So without further ado, I'm going to switch over to our Canvas view and we'll get right to it. Okay, so this week you can see we've only got 2 readings on the docket. And just to kind of give you an overview, some of the high points, things that I want you to be taking away from both of these articles. So this piece about hypermedia and qualitative research is going to really be talking about the pros and cons of different ethnographic research methods specifically applied to digital or hypermedia. And in specific, there's going to be a lot of discussion about like putting hyperlinks within your research or following hyperlinks if you're doing ethnographic observation, quote unquote, on like an online platform or website. That stuff's not as relevant to us as the stuff that's talking about participant observation and field notes, which are 2 of your main methods for this project. So pay particular attention to that when you're reading this chapter. And then this piece is a chapter from Linda Flower, who's a big name in my field of rhetoric and composition. And she's talking about partnership in inquiry, mostly wanting to get us to think about both sort of this partner stance with our community that we're working with. We've already thought about that a lot, which I'm really glad to have such a group of insightful and thoughtful students. You guys have been really thinking seriously about your stance toward our community partner. But Flower also is going to talk about ethics in terms of bringing any community partner that you might be doing research on for bringing them as partners in that dialogue, the ethics of that. So pay attention to ethical considerations when you're looking at the Flower piece. Okay, and this week, we're doing our reflection journal as usual on your tutoring. You have your quick discussion. You guys have been doing great. Just make sure that you keep up that interaction piece, making sure that you're posting the questions early enough. And make sure that if you need to, check that discussion maybe more than once. Sometimes getting everything bang in at one sitting isn't possible. So make sure that you give yourself enough time to check your reading discussion. I'm going to say at least twice, if not 3 times within the week. Hopefully, too, that brings down the amount of time that you're giving it at one sitting and kind of spreads it out throughout the week. If you think that maybe we would have met in class twice a week, maybe that kind of helps fix it in your mind as like, hey, I should check this discussion at least twice. And then finally, we're going to be turning in just a draft of your methods section this is for your overall Project 3, your digital ethnography paper. We're starting our drafting process now because as you guys move forward, you're going to be collecting your own sources. You're going to continue on with your field notes and your tutoring. But we want to make sure that we can get as many pieces of the puzzle done earlier if we can. So One of the things to think about there is if you go into the Week 8 overview, and I haven't linked it here yet because it's still uploading, but I've created a mini lesson that kind of outlines what you want to put, the moves you want to make in your method section. So hopefully that will help crystallize what you're doing this week in terms of writing that piece. Now, again, looking at the schedule, this is just a suggested schedule. So you may want to hold off on your reflection journal until later if your tutoring time is later. Your field notes might also come later if your tutoring comes later in the week. And also, I forgot to delete this here, but we're not reading the Rethinking Culture piece. So you're only reading hypermedia, fieldwork, and partners in inquiry. And any sources, nothing's due right now, but just kind of know in about 5 or 6 weeks, Project 3 will be due. So it might be a good idea to start doing your library research. Again, not required, and I don't have any formal assignments about it right now. Okay, so I think that covers work in the class. It's a lot, I know, and I have to say, well, I'll wait until I pull back to my full view for what I was going to say. I'm going to pull back to our full view, close out this video with a thing I was going to say to you guys about your work and 2 exciting extra credit opportunities. Okay, here's what I was going to say, and I didn't want to do it with my head so tiny in the corner. I am so proud of you guys, all of you. You are doing amazing work, and I think doing incredibly amazing work under the conditions that we're working with this semester. Not only are you guys exceptionally thoughtful and participating and just energetic for me, you guys are energizing me and my work with this class, but during a pandemic, when we're all online, you guys are dealing with a lot of really hard circumstances. I don't know exactly what all of them are, but I do know everybody's facing stuff we wouldn't be facing if it wasn't a worldwide pandemic going on. And so I just want to say I'm proud of you. You're doing great work. Keep it up. You've got this. We're past the halfway point, so now let's just finish the semester strong. I believe in you, and I know you can do it. You're doing awesome. Double high five. Okay, so that's what I was going to say. And the other thing is that we have 2 extra credit opportunities coming up. One is coming up next week. So starting on October 26th, you guys will see in the announcements in Canvas a survey. It's a mid-term assessment project survey from the Office of Teaching and Learning, and it's anonymous. It's basically something that I'm partnering with the OTL to disseminate to you guys, my students, because I feel like I want more information about what could make this class better for the second half of the semester. I want to make any changes that will be helpful and relevant to you guys now instead of waiting till the next time that I teach this course. So knowing that, and knowing too that if we were together in a face-to-face class, I would probably be able to do this formative assessment by having us do a reflection journal, or even just being able to see everybody's facial expressions and your body language in my actual classroom. I might be able to know if something's really not working for the entire class or the majority of the class. Because we're online, I don't have those formative assessment methods at my disposal, and so I'm so grateful that the OTL is offering this survey option. I'll be able to talk with a representative from the OTL about the results, and hopefully that will help me make any adjustments that will be helpful to you guys for the end of the semester. So yeah, that's why I'm doing this. I want your feedback. I really want to know how the class is going so far. And I've never taught this class online. I've never worked under these conditions and never been, like as fully separated from you guys as I am. So I really appreciate your participation in that MAP survey. It's coming out next week. I'll post an announcement about it. And for everyone who does complete the survey, please just shoot me an email to let me know that you've done it, and I will give you one full discussion grade. Woo! Extra credit points! Okay, so that's extra credit number 1, the MAP survey. Extra credit number 2 is coming up at the beginning of November, and it's really spearheaded by your peer mentors. Your peer mentors are going to be hosting some check-ins for you guys. So these will be synchronous Zoom meetings where you can drop in and talk to the peer mentors and myself for different chunks of it. And we will be able to just check in and see what's going on, what are some of the biggest questions about Project 3, for example, or how the semester is going so far. You can hear from your peer mentors about not only their own research process, but both of your peer mentors, Carly and Kat, will be checking their group chats for your questions in advance. So if you've got anything that you want to talk about, put it in the group chat. Or if you have something that you want the peer mentors to specifically speak to, put those ideas in your group chat and your peer mentors will see them. So once again, the first week of November, be on the lookout. I will post an announcement with the specific dates because both of your sections, your peer mentors have different hours of availability, so there'll be different check-in meetings for each section. Okay, I think that's all I had for you guys. I hope everybody's enjoying the glorious Michigan October, and I will talk to you guys next week. Bye, everybody.